right, gentlemen, please check those 6 problems using the answer key up on the board. So you needed to find and solve for W. Remember that all W should have 2 answers. I did notice that when I walked around, some of us only had 1. Some of us only had 1.
Okay, where we can't see, so.
Not directly behind Abby, but you can move up 1 in front of Logan. Because at this point we're all, there's too many of them to keep them socially distanced anyways. So you
can try.
You can go sit between, but see that. Yes.
Yeah, that's where she is.
I mean, we could rearrange all of their seats. No. Yeah, we did both of them. So I was letting you check that one first. We haven't checked either one of these yet. We did both in class on Friday. We did both of these.
Yeah, okay, so what that is, they.
As long as your signs are the same, you're okay. When you said flipped, I thought you meant your signs. Like I thought you meant you had +6 and -4.
Two or three, it didn't do a whole lot of work. Just have numbers down. We have to show our work here. Yes. So, donate more than like that. The left one is always low. So as long as you have both values, if they ask you to put in brackets, that's when you have down the road.
All right, and then the second worksheet we did. Yeah, this is the other handout. So again, we've checked 2 handouts over the past few days. We just haven't gone over all of their answers yet. So this is everything from both those past few days. How did we do? So it was a total of 10 questions. Did we get 8 out of the 10? Our hope would be that you get like 8 out of 10, maybe like 7 out of 10. That would average you, to make just maybe 1 or 2 mistakes here or there. But for a majority, you have the understanding. Any questions or any of these you want to see the work for? Any of those problems you want to see worked out more? Like which ones did you miss? Some of you said you got 8 out of 10. Which one did you miss? Do you want to see the work for what you missed? No? We're good? You have no questions at all? All right. Lesson. So the next part of the lesson is going to be on writing the equation. So now you're going to be given the answers, and you have to write the equation. Oh my goodness, I messed that staple completely. All right, guys, so like I said, we are moving away from being given the equations, and now we're going to be graphing them. So it says the average January temperature in a northern Canadian city is 1 degrees Fahrenheit. The actual January temperature for that city is to be about 5 degrees warmer or colder. Write and solve an equation to find the maximum and minimum temperatures. So what you want to do is think about the fact that the temperature is going to be warmer or colder by about 5 degrees. So on that number line, what I want you to do is go ahead and graph that point at why did they put it? Yeah, at 1 degree. And then mark 8.5 units to the right and mark 8.5 units to the left. So here's my 1 degree. We know that the temperature will be 5 degrees warmer or 5 degrees colder. So that means that the temperature can range from -4 to +6. And that would represent the maximum and the minimum temperature. So the max temperature will be 6, the min temperature would be -4. So what I can do is to think of that as an absolute value is that the distance from the temperature and 1 degree has to be a total of 5 units, right? So you would start with your t minus a 1 equals 5. Because the distance from t and 1 is 1. And then you move 5 units in either direction. So what I want you to do is now, go ahead, Abby. Yeah. What I want you to do is actually split that into case 1 and case 2, just like we've been doing. And solve and see if it works. You should get those two values, those equal distances. Do you mean the noise the air conditioning unit made? Sierra, make sure your mask is on. Okay, so everybody split that absolute value and solve for t. Did you get the values we put on our number line?
Awesome.
So when you split your absolute value and solve for t,
you
you should get the positive 6
and
and the negative 4.
Does
Does
drawing them on the number line help you see how to get these? Could you see how you could almost work backwards from that?
So if you started with the value on the number line,
you
you have to add 1 degree back to your temperature, and then you would get to your absolute value equation. Okay, let's look at the next example.
So it
So
says,
it says,
write an equation
involving the absolute value
for
for the graph
given
on that page.
So we
So we
want
want
to
to
write
write
that,
that,
Abby.
Abby. Yep.
So
So my answers are -2 and positive 6.
So
So I need to find the absolute value equation that represents that.
So
what I like to do when I'm looking at these problems
is
is I like to find the distance between them.
So
So how many units are between -2 and positive 6? Go, Dominique. It's going to be similar to B.
So
So it's going to be the opposite sign of what you've got. Yeah, it's going to be A, and I'm going to show you Y in a second here.
So
So the distance between -2 and 6 is 8.
So
from here
to
to there is
8
units. That distance is 8 units.
So the
So the value it's equal to has to be half
your
your distance.
So
So
half
my distance would put me right here at positive 2,
which
which is why I think, again, you would pick your letter B.
But
But if you think about why it has to be, let's go a little darker. All right.
So it's
So
right
it's right
here
at
2,
2, that's the midpoint.
It's
It's going to be the -2. Because when you move it over to the other side, you're going to add the number. So you need it to be the opposite of what it is on the number line. And the equation for an absolute value is x minus that midpoint. So if our midpoint was on the negative side, then it would be positive inside my equation. Is that what you're going to ask? Gotcha. Yep, so the total distance is 8. Half the distance will give you your n number, and then it will be the opposite of the midpoint. So the answer is A. Okay, number 3. The average temperature for Columbus on Tuesday was 45 degrees Fahrenheit. The actual temperature for any time during the day may have actually varied from the average temperature by 15 degrees. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is on your number line. Go ahead, Abby, what do you think?
I know.
I know. Exactly. So 45 is going to be my midpoint, right?
And
then it's going to be changing by 15 degrees.
So
here's your 45. And then you're going to go 15 above it, as well as 15 below it. So that means it could be up to 60 or down to 30. So what is my max and min? Which is answer choice. Perfect. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. So we have one last example. Write an equation involving this graph. So once again, you have the point -4 and 6. So you go 5 units around it. So that makes your midpoint 1. Because from -4 to +6 is 10. So that's a unit of 10. So half of 10 is 5, which makes your midpoint 1. So what would my equation look like? Abby, what do you think? So those are my solutions. So now what we're trying to do is to write an equation. So my equation needs to have an absolute value. We're going to have x minus something in that absolute value equal to something. So it's okay. All right, Dominique, what's it going to equal? Let's start there. So it's not going to equal 4 because it has to equal, it will always equal half the what? It's going to equal half the distance. The absolute value always equals half the distance. What's half the distance, Luke? Yeah. So it's always going to equal half the distance. So the distance between the two solutions is 10. So half of that is 5. And then it's going to be the opposite of the midpoint. So the midpoint is positive 1. So that means inside my absolute value will be minus 1. Everybody okay with that now? Do you want to see another one? I know it's not on your examples, but flip your paper over. I'm going to give you a number line and we're going to try again. Yes. You were telling me the number inside. That's okay. All right, let me get a blank number line. Okay, so here's my number line. I'm going to put 2 points on that number line. Let's put a point at 5. Or sorry, -5. And let's put a point at positive 1. So what's the difference or distance from -5 to positive 1? How far apart are they, Logan? Good. So there's 6 units apart. So what's half of 6? Abby? Good. So that means that my absolute value is going to be equal to 3 because it's always equal to half the distance. So you want to find your distance, you want to find half of it. Go ahead, Luke. So careful. So your midpoint should be at -2. So it should be +2, not 3. Is that what you said? I'm so sorry. I told you, I can't hear. Or we could just say I can't hear, period.
So
So the equation itself is minus. So since your midpoint is at -2, it's like x minus a minus. So that's why it becomes the opposite of where it is. So that's why this became a positive 2. So like the midpoint is at 3 units from either the left or the right. So here's 1, 2, 3. So that's where your midpoint is. So since the midpoint is at -2, inside your equation, it's the opposite, making it a positive 2. The 2 dots on the graph. You were to start it by yourself, you're going to have just the 2 dots on the graph. Or you're going to have the opposite, which is the midpoint, and you're going to be given a value above it and below it. So do you want to try one where we're given a midpoint?
Find the midpoint between the 2 dots. And then the general equation x, the outside value of x minus that midpoint. Okay. So in this case, the midpoint is -2. So that's why you put x minus -2. And then when you have that double negative x minus -2, that's x plus.
It is now. I'm changing. I told you I was going to do one where I only give you the midpoint and then the values above it or below it. So I'm like, I was actually moving and erasing stuff. So, okay, so for this one, they might tell you that the average, I can't even think of a problem off the top of my head. Let's just say that I think they pick temperature because it's easy. The average temperature, I don't like that it's moving my graph. There we go. The average temperature is -1 degrees and can vary by 4 degrees. So if they told you the average temperature is -1 and can vary by 4 degrees, then what that means is my midpoint is at -1, so that's this bar here. So what would be 4 degrees greater than -1? Yep. Then what would be 4 degrees less than -1? Good, Zoe? Go 4 degrees below it. Dominique? Up? Yeah. Okay, so guys, make sure we don't just start guessing. Think about -1. What's 4 less than that? -5. So that means that the high is 3 degrees, the low is -5 degrees. So what's the distance between them? What's half the total distance? And it's given to you this time. See, this part's harder. The total distance between those 2 endpoints is 8. So these almost give you all the numbers you need. You need the -1 and the 4. So your absolute value is the absolute value of x minus whatever they give you as the midpoint. So it's -1 equals the distance that it goes up or down.
So it
So it varies by 4, so it equals
4.
4.
But
But then like we were saying, it's the opposite of the midpoint, so this would be x plus 1 equals 4.
Maybe
better,
maybe
maybe
worse.
worse,
Better?
better?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.